Hi students, and welcome back to the In My Feelings Relationship Building Blocks course, and we are on lesson 6. That's right, that is our final lesson for this course. Now in this lesson we are talking about something that we all know too well and we would prefer not to be part of. But unfortunately, when you are in relationships, whether it's friendships, family relationships, or romantic relationships, it is inevitable. This will come up. But how we deal with it matters. So what are we talking about? We're talking about your relationship with conflict. Even the word, it's conflict. You feel it in you. You can immediately be transported to a moment where you just had a disagreement with somebody and it just escalated into something pretty ugly, and you just thought afterwards, you know what? It was not necessary, but your emotions are running high. And every time you get into a conflict, that's what always happens. Emotions just run high and no one listens to anybody and everybody wants to get their way. So how do we resolve this? How can we have a healthy conflict with other people and make it a win-win situation? Now, Stephen Covey said it best, and he said, seek to first understand, then to be understood. What he simply meant by that is try and see the issue from the other person's perspective first. Understand their perception of the world, their reasoning. Why do they feel this way? Put yourself in their shoes so that you are better equipped to answer them in a way or meet their needs in the way that they need you to. And sometimes you can try or come up with an alternative to meet their needs as well. And also it allows you to be able to reframe your argument better in the way that they understand and be more receptive to. So guys, conflicts are just not all about just fighting and everybody trying to get a word in. And that's how conflicts have traditionally been, where we always just have this highly emotional argument where everybody wants to be right and no one wants to be wrong, and everybody walks away unhappy in some way. So conflicts don't need to be that way. We can definitely resolve conflicts in a more calmer and peaceful way where we all get to win. Now, before we start talking about conflict styles, I'd like you to really think about it. Like traditionally, how do you normally resolve a conflict? So if you think in your own life, whether it's a romantic relationship, a friendship, or with family members, how do you normally resolve those conflicts? When you find yourself in a very highly emotionally stressful situation with one of them, how do you interact with them? What is going through your mind, and what is the goal that you're hoping you can achieve at the end of this argument? So I think this is very important because most of us don't think about that. We just want to be heard, be seen, for our opinions to matter. So that's why we never think about the end goal. What is our end goal? And this is why we're now going into our conflict styles. So our conflict styles allow us to get a little bit more insight on the type of person we are and the goal that we're trying to achieve every time we have an argument with somebody. Are we a lose-lose kind of conflict style? Are we a lose-win where if I lose, that means that you win? Or a win-lose, it means that I want to win, so you lose? Or a win-win situation, which is preferred, where we both get to see each other's side of the story and we both get to win in the situation. So no one gets to walk away feeling frustrated, but we both find some way to meet each other halfway and just get a better understanding as to why this conflict started, and try and resolve it in a way that is peaceful and also protects each other's mental health. So that is the goal, to have a win-win situation when you're in a conflict. Is this achievable? Yes, it is. Does it take away anything from you? No, it does not. So in your workbook, we have put in some great tips about conflict and how you can start looking at conflict. And the most important thing is to just rewire your mind and how you approach conflict. Most of us, even hearing the word conflict, you're already thinking it's an argument. Sometimes it's just, if you reframe your mind and think about conflict as a way of people seeing the world differently. and you're both looking at the same thing, but your perspectives are very different. So how do you get to see the other person's perspective? What is that person seeing? You're both looking at the same thing, but you would also like to see how they're seeing that same thing, because it's clearly not the same as you. So by doing that first, it allows you to understand how they got that vision of that particular thing, and then it helps you to make them understand how you got yours, and then together, once you've established that understanding, you're able to create a bridge and move forward in a win-win situation. So I hope, guys, this little information helps you. So I've put in a lot of notes in your workbook that kind of go into more detail about all the different lessons, and you're more than welcome to really just do a little bit more research. And also, what is very important is that you take this information and put it to practice, because I'm telling you now, conflicts are very draining, and no one wants to be in a conflict with anybody. But when an argument arises and it's still at the beginning, it's still just a difference in opinion. So you have to just get to it and resolve it before it escalates into something very emotionally fueled and very difficult to de-escalate, because the whole point is you want to just get to it at the beginning and just resolve it while it's still a difference in opinion. So I hope this information helped, and I hope you enjoy this lesson and enjoy the notes that I gave you in your workbook. Thank you so much for tuning into this lesson, and I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the emotional intelligence course.